Good afternoon, guys. I wanted to do a basic Ferro Rod 101 kind of video where we talk about different types of ferro rods, different scrapers, techniques, things like that. So I'm going to lay out some ferro rods here. So these are 4 different types of ferro rods, which are actually all pretty similar. These 2 are from Nathan 047, I think it is. Let me double check for you guys. Search. Nathan 4071 on eBay. I think he makes the best ferro rods, or he sells the best ferro rods. They're awesome. This is a 1/2 inch by 6, I think, and a homemade fatwood handle. This is a little short ferro rod that includes a scraper from the Pathfinder store. This is originally was a firesteel.com ferro rod handle with scraper, and then this is another one. I think it came with. Actually, I'm not sure where this came from. I'm not sure. This is a mystery one, but all good ferro rods. One important thing to know is the longer your ferro rod, the easier it is to work with, in my opinion. And I prefer ferro rods about 3/8 inch in diameter, which is this one is a 3/8 one on a fatwood handle. That's usually how I do it. That's another fatwood handle that I made. That's usually what I prefer, and then if it's not carried with a knife, it's going to be a 1/2 inch. This is, I think, 4 or 5 inches long. I carry this with my LT Wright Genesis. As you can see, this one's used a lot. This is my deemed practice ferro rod. This is the one that I usually carry in the woods. I have another variation of this, smaller, in my fire kit. And this is one that I got for free, and this is one that was included in something. Another thing I want to go over, though, is scrapers. Let's pull these back. So we have a ferro rod scraper. That's the one that goes with the firesteel.com one. We have another scraper that goes with the one from the Pathfinder store. We have this one from, move that out of the way more, 4 Directions Bushcraft, which is a piece of high-speed steel mounted in a Osage orange handle. That is my favorite. That's what I use. We have this one that was supplied with this fire steel, and then we also have what a lot of people like to use, and what I'll use sometimes, is the back of your knife. So we have the LT Wright Genesis. These all, well, they don't all have their advantages. Let's take out these for a second. Alright, let's go over this really quick. If you want a good striker, if you want a good scraper striker for your ferro rod, it needs to have a 90-degree edge. And my opinion also is it should be a plain 90-degree edge. It shouldn't be little serrations. This has little serrations on it. It should be a nice plain 90-degree edge, sharp. This scraper is a terrible scraper. It has no 90-degree edge. It has this little bit that you're supposed to scrape with, but it's got those saw teeth in it, and you put deep grooves in your ferro rod, and then it just makes it harder to use. One thing you can see here is, and I'll show you maintenance as well. On here, it might not come up. I might have to do a different angle for this, but on here there's ridges in this ferro rod. Might be able to see it now that I kind of cleaned off the patina. But there's ridges in this ferro rod. That makes it more difficult to strike. That degrades the performance of the ferro rod. Given the ridges are going this way and not this way. But if you put grooves into your ferro rod and those don't line up right, or they get too deep, you're not scraping properly. So these 2 scrapers are a no-go. They're terrible scrapers. These scrapers are awesome. This is my preferred one. Nice big scraper. Can put my thumb back here and really get controlled pushes, and we'll go over. There's 3 different striking methods that I typically use. But a lot of control here. I can put my thumb back here, get a lot of power. This one kind of have to hold like this or like this. I prefer it like this. You kind of just have to push. You don't get the same amount of control. And then you're onto your 90-degree spine on your knife, which again, I can put my thumb back here and slowly push down to get those, to basically get it to work, or pull back. Alright, so we've covered that really quick. We'll do a demo of what all the scrapers look like, all on the same ferro rod. We'll go over the 3 different techniques really quick. You have this one that I use that I think is the best. You're going to plant your ferro rod down here, right into the tinder bundle. Take your scraper, not 90 degrees, not 90 degrees on the edge, but just lift it a little bit to shave. And then you'll just push. And don't worry about getting sparks to fly the first time around. You can push this and gather that ferrocerium into a pile, and then, so that's your one method. Your other method is to hold up here and pull, like that. And then your other method is to fling sparks downward. So those are your 3 methods. Let's go over really quick. Same ferro rod, all 3 scrapers. Now, I'm trying to think which one to use. Let's use the practice one. So we'll start with ones that I say aren't good scrapers. So I'll go here. Like that, or you're supposed to, I guess like that, you're supposed to do. So you don't really get long-lasting sparks that kind of jump all over the board here. And then you're going to get those deep grooves in your ferro rod. The other one is, this one has little serrated teeth as well. So it's alright this way. This way, nothing really. So that's kind of what you get off of that one. We'll do the fire steel, the one that comes with this package here. So you get pretty good. So you want those sparks to bounce around. Come in here. Alright. Let's do my preferred one. So that one's awesome. And then we'll do the back of the LT right. There we go. Look at those ribbons that I'm shaving off because of how sharp the 90-degree spine is. And that's all ferrocerium right there, and that's a big hunkin' chunk of ferrocerium. Kind of gather this into a pile, and you guys can scrape this off. Into a little, pretty much a little tinder bundle, or into your tinder bundle to really get your tinder lit. Let's go over different methods of lighting tinder. Let's go over like a practical example. Alright, so here we are with some Maya dust, which is just a chunk of fat wood shaved down with a 90-degree spine on a knife, or maybe a really sharp 90-degree spine on a ferro rod. We're going to try all 3 different techniques for each one of the tinder types, just to show as an example. So, this one is going to just be the holding the ferro rod stationary, pulling back, well not pulling back, sorry, I'm going to hold it up above the tinder bundle and throw sparks down onto the tinder bundle, or onto our fire starter. Okay, so it worked. Put that out real quick. So it worked pretty well. So now we're going to try aim. pull back, pull back. There you go. It worked as well. Put that out real quick. And then we're going to try my preferred method, which is... There we go. And that also worked. I prefer to sink the ferro rod in because it kind of lets you direct those sparks into one little hot bundle. So we'll let this burn really quick. And on finer stuff, all three methods will work. Let's shuffle this off to the side. Okay, let's go on to something a little bit more difficult. This is sassafras when it was green, shaved down with a 90-degree spine to create tinder, and then left to dry. So this is super, super dry, fluffy, kind of coarse. So we'll go ahead and give this a shot and see what happens. Same technique as before. I'm going to just throw sparks onto it to start. So 2 throws, 3 throws, and nothing. A little tiny bit of something, but nothing, really. Okay, so we're going to hold our ferro rod here. We're going to hold our scraper and pull our ferro rod back. There we go. Sorry, I want to put that out and use the other one. Use the last technique. One little push. This stuff actually burns surprisingly well. Kind of stinks though. Alright, just let that burn out for a second. Alright, we'll get into some more difficult, more tinder. We have a nice little feather. Make sure that's on camera, in focus, all that fun stuff. Yep. Alright. This one, probably the first 2 techniques won't work on it, but let's see. Rotate my ferro rod. So it's hitting it, but it's not really doing anything. Oh, I got some sassafras in there. Everything was sitting together. So we'll try this one. Oh, I got it with that one. So the hold and pull, I definitely got it. Started to light. I'm going to try to use about the same area. The nice thing about this method is I can plant this right in here. And I thought I had it. There we go. A little bit. There we go. So, looks like the hold the scraper and pull, and the also plant and slow controlled scrapes are the 2 best methods to use. The third method is still my favorite, just because of accuracy. This aside. Last one. This is the finale here. This is low quality fatwood shavings. So this is from kind of a stump I cut out that has some fatwood in it, but not much. It's still good stuff. It's still good stuff, but it's not the best it could be. So we'll throw some sparks onto it. Oh, I got it. That was actually surprising. All right, try this method. Got it. And we'll plant our ferro rod in here. and also have it. Alright, so as we saw, all three methods work rather well. For me, it's definitely your scraper is more important than the method, really. But you can see now on here all these ridges along this ferro rod. This is going to do great performance of this ferro rod, because as you go to scrape, you're going to hit all those little bumps and ridges and make them worse, and also take off less ferrocerium, making it harder to light a fire. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you how we would deal with this. We want to take a minute and strike each one of these with the same scraper. So different ferro rods, all the same scraper. I have a bad edge on. Oh, I thought I had a bad edge. Maybe I don't. Maybe that was just stuff stuck to it. Okay. So this mystery one, this one's up. So not bad. Do the whole pull back technique. So that's not bad. This one we've seen. This one we've seen, or we'll see depending on where we are in the process. So the other one is this little itty bitty short one, which, man, can I tell you something? With this little scraper, I was so pissed trying to start a fire with this. However, when I switched up to a good scraper, everything was so much better. No, maybe not a whole lot better. And that is a small demo. The reason why I prefer longer ferrocerium rods. There's that. Either method. It's kind of, can't build up enough to get good strike. There we go. On the shorter one, that was pretty good. Alright, throw that over there. But when you work your way up to a longer one, let's just say you in this one, definitely build up more speed, shave off more ferrocerium. So, make sure you guys go outside and play with a ferro rod. Get one like this, use it. You know, this one used to have another inch on it, maybe another ½ inch on it. I actually broke it off because I used it so much to practice. So just practice, practice, practice. Try different scrapers. Oh! One other scraper I forgot to cover. Pull that out. Because I was told by people, and I've also read online, and company said it, and of course if a company says it, you can't really trust it. Ceramic fire scrapers. This is by Wazoo Survival, I believe it is. It's a little ceramic blade, but it also is supposed to double as a fire steel, which I'm assuming is that little edge right there, because I don't know, I wouldn't want to try to scrape with this thing open. But so let's try this really quick too. Ooh. So I tried this the other night and I wasn't impressed with it at all. But by that little ooh noise, maybe I wasn't doing it right. Maybe I was trying to do the whole, when you try to throw the sparks on, you don't quite get enough, or if you do the whole, but maybe if you plant, yeah, it works, you know, on good tinder. Would not be my first choice at all for this process, but it was a little interesting fire steel that I wanted to try. So yeah, the Wazoo Survival little, whoa, that wind just took that little tinder bundle while it was still on fire and blew it into all my fire steels. But anyway, yeah, little Wazoo ceramic knife thingamajig / fire steel. Seemed pretty good. I have not tested how sharp it is yet or anything like that. I was just more curious about how it worked as a fire steel. So that was pretty good. That's what it looks like. I think it's like $10 or something like that. Something to try. Alright, let's go into the fire steel maintenance. We're going to take this and we're going to pretty this up. Alright, I have a belt sander here with a fairly worn out belt. But what we're going to do is we're going to just take this fire steel along here and smooth out and get rid of all those ridges. Very light pressure, very gentle. Now you don't have to get rid of all the ridges, you just got to get them mostly worked out. Light pressure, that's all. And yeah, I'm taking off ferrocerium. In theory, shortening the life of my rod, but I'm keeping the performance up so it actually works and performs. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. That's just basic ferro rod use techniques, strikers, maintenance in a nutshell. If you don't have a belt sander, you can do it with. You can hand sand it, but make sure you get out there, make sure you play with fire responsibly, of course. Don't go out there and light the woods on fire. Practice safely, but try different scrapers, try different ferro rods. You can make a relatively bad ferro rod work pretty well if you get really good scrapers. You can make really good ferro rods even better with really good scrapers. So anyway, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Please make sure to click like, share, and subscribe.